everyone. I am blessed with another gorgeous day here in the Talladega National Forest in Alabama. Spring has fully sprung here. Leaves are budding on the trees nearby, and in just the week I've been here, they've changed from their flowers into these tiny little leaves. But with spring has come a lot of rain. Unfortunately, it's been rainy about half of the days I've been here, but today is a beautiful sunny day, so that doesn't matter. On clear mornings like today though, my alarm clock has been the spring songbirds singing their music, and that is just my absolute favorite way to wake up. I've been here for nearly 2 weeks though, so unfortunately my time in the Talladega National Forest is coming to a close, but I don't have to leave just yet. For breakfast this morning, I'm going with the classic all-American breakfast: bacon, eggs, and toast. But for me, I really prefer my bacon to have that meaty texture to it as opposed to a crunch. And so I always go with this thick cut bacon. Eggs over easy is my favorite too, and so I gotta have something like bread to soak up that yolk. Got a delicious, hearty breakfast here, man. Bacon, eggs over easy, and toast. This is a go-to. I just really love this like thick applewood smoked bacon. It's just so meaty and God, it's just delicious. This campsite I found in the Talladega National Forest, this is really nice. It's down just an old logging road, and there's a gate at the very end. So I'm just at the very dead end of this road, and so it's super secluded here. It's very quiet, very peaceful. I've had this big turnaround area all to myself for the nearly 2 weeks that I've been here, and man, it's just really beautiful here. I get to hear the wind through the trees on windy days like today, the birds chirping. It's just really peaceful. I haven't been in forested mountains for what feels like forever. I mean, it's been at least 6 months. So yeah, I'm just really loving it here, and it's making me really excited for when I head out west. I finally get back out west and I'm in some real mountains. Like, don't get me wrong, the Appalachian Mountains are great, but you know, I'm at like the very tail end of them, and so they're just not very tall. The highest point in all of Alabama is only 2,413 feet, and what's funny is that's only like, you know, a few miles away from my campsite. But yeah, it's invigorating me, and I'm just getting really excited to actually get back out west into some really tall mountains. Before we get on with the rest of the video though, I want to really quickly tell you about this video's sponsor, and that is Redodo and their brand new 12 volt 165 amp hour lithium battery. What makes this battery really special, and the reason I want to tell you guys about it, is because it is 165 amp hours packed into a Group 31 size battery, which is typically the size that 100 amp hour lithium batteries come in. And so with this being a 165 amp hour battery in that same size, you're getting 65% more battery capacity out of the same size. And so I think this battery is perfect really for anyone where space is absolutely critical. You know, you're not like me where you have this huge pass-through storage bay that you can fit massive batteries in, or if your RV came with a Group 31 size battery, and this can be a direct drop-in replacement for that. This battery is also equipped with a 165 amp BMS and supports 2,112 watts of maximum continuous power. That means you can run multiple appliances simultaneously and high-powered devices without worrying about overload, ensuring safe, stable operation under high loads. It also has a surge current of 825 amps for 1 second and 495 amps for 5 seconds, and so you can experience smoother operation, faster responses, and stable performance when using high-powered demand devices. You know, we're talking talking power tools, audio systems, amplifiers, you name it. And on top of all that, it still has Bluetooth monitoring via an app you can get on your phone, and it has low temperature charge cutoff protection. But honestly, what I think is the most important thing, especially for batteries that are in the really low cost category, is that Redodo has a 5-year warranty on these batteries. And that is something that is not common, like I said, for the batteries that are in this super low cost category. Redodo has been around for years, and so you can be confident that if you have an issue with your batteries from the get-go, you know, you've got that warranty to protect you. And the price is incredible. Redodo is currently running an Easter sale, and so you can get these for only $349 a piece. And for 165 amp hours, that's really good. And so if you're looking to get smaller, lightweight, super compact lithium batteries for your RV, I highly recommend you check out Redodo's 12 volt, 165 amp hour battery. They are the first to market with a 165 amp hour battery in the Group 31 size, so you gotta check it out, guys. And I'll drop links in the video description below to it, but let's get back to the video. Today I'm doing a little more maintenance on the truck. I am gonna be replacing the fuel filter, which I wanted to do in last video, but if you guys saw it, I couldn't for, you know, silly little reason, but I'm able to take care of this now. And yeah, this is something that I definitely, you know, need to keep up on these diesels. The fuel filters are also like a fuel water separator, and so they pull the moisture out of the diesel fuel. And diesel fuel is really good at absorbing moisture, and so yeah, keeping up on this is really important, just to keep your fuel system in tip-top shape. I do this every other oil change, and I have to change the oil on this truck about every 7,000 miles, sometimes a little more. It just depends on how much I am towing through the mountains usually, because the truck lets me know when it needs an oil change. It just monitors that stuff itself, and so yeah, I just keep it easy. Every other oil change I do this, and that just makes it easy for me to remember. And I don't have to take the wheel off to do this job, but it does make everything a lot easier because I have to get up under the wheel well, and this fuel filter isn't in like the most accessible spot. I think Chevy could have done a little better of a job putting this somewhere a little more accessible, but it's really not that difficult of a job. I'm not gonna lie, I do get a little bit of anxiety doing these maintenance jobs out here all by myself, you know, kind of far away from the rest of society, because what if something goes wrong? What if something breaks? What if I got the wrong parts? What if I'm missing some parts and I get halfway through the job and my truck is out of commission? It's not like I can just call a buddy or go over to my neighbors or even really call an Uber to then run me to the auto parts store. But what all that really means is I just need to be really sure about my planning, and I need to be methodical and take my time on these jobs to make sure that I don't mess up and that I have everything I need to get the project done before I start it. I have a simple philosophy when it comes to things like that though. If something bad happens, I'll figure it out. It might be rough, it might be a huge pain, but in the end, I'll figure it out and get through it. All right, there we go. Another maintenance job on the truck done. Feels good. I do really enjoy maintaining my truck myself. You know, I save a lot of money doing it. It feels good taking care of my machines, and you know, I take pride in that. And also, I know the job was done right that way. Also, you know, I've just heard a lot of horror stories of, you know, people taking their vehicles to random mechanics and, oh man, just doing the job wrong, using the wrong parts, intentionally like sabotaging other parts of the car to be like, ooh, you know, while I was in there, I noticed that this needed replaced too. You know, crap like that. And so, yeah, it's nice just working out here on my camp, or in my campsite out in nature. It's good. I enjoy it. It's the next day, and something happened after I had just finished working on the truck that has really put me on edge about continuing to camp here. Right when I was finishing up, I had put the camera away back in the trailer and I was buttoning up the truck, and a newer Jeep drove down the forest road and stopped here. And the guy, like, you know, waved me over to talk to him. And so I like walked over, you know, I didn't think anything of it. He had an Alabama license plate. I figured, you know, oh, it's just a local wondering what's up. And yeah, I went and I started talking to him, and he had a passenger also. So it was like two guys in their like mid 50s, I would say. And yeah, we just got to chatting, and they basically just wanted to let me know that you know, this area is not necessarily safe to camp in. Some things have happened in the Talladega National Forest in recent history, as well as the fact that you know, they've lived here their entire lives. They live just a mile that way, and they have for many, many years, and so they know the area. We talked for, you know, a couple hours. Like they were nice guys. They were very inviting. They were very friendly. I didn't get the vibe that they were like trying to push me out of the national forest that they somehow felt was theirs. You know, that has happened in the past. You know, longtime viewers will know all about the Crazy Cheryl video.
And if you haven't heard that one, I'll, put a link to it in the description. I didn't get that vibe at all because, that has happened before, where locals will try to like push me out of the area because, this part of the public land is theirs. I wasn't getting that vibe at all. The vibe I was getting is that they were genuinely concerned for me, in that this area is not safe. And what really made me feel that is that they really did stay here for a couple hours just hanging out with me, shooting the shit, and they had a case of beer, and they were giving me beer and stuff, and they were very friendly. And when they finally left, they actually left me with the remaining beer from that case, and they were like, hey, this is the Alabama hospitality and stuff. They were really friendly. And so I took what they had to say to heart, and I looked up later the story that they told me of a murder that has happened in this forest. And since then, I just don't feel safe in this campsite. So just a warning, the story they told me about is pretty disturbing, and I looked it up, and it is absolutely true. This actually happened. Just a mile or so from my campsite on Forest Road 600-3, a couple from Florida, a guy that was 22 years old and his longtime girlfriend, who was 20 years old, came to Alabama to the Talladega National Forest to go hiking. And while they were traveling down this forest road that, like I said, is just right down there from where I'm camping, I've driven up and down this forest road multiple times. They were stopped. They were flagged down by a woman that was claiming to need help with her vehicle that had broken down. And so this young couple, they were good people. They wanted to help out. And so they got out of their car to go and help this woman who pulled a gun on them and then proceeded to lead them deep into the woods. While this woman was holding them at gunpoint and leading them into the woods, the 22-year-old man pulled a concealed firearm that he had. He then proceeded to shoot at the woman, and he hit her multiple times, but she also shot back at him and ended up fatally wounding him. His girlfriend did have cell service, and she called 911, but by the time authorities had come out, he was beyond saving. So unfortunately, he did end up dying. The woman that had held them at gunpoint was taken to the hospital and was saved. She did not die, but she is, now held in prison. But a massive investigation was then launched. Helicopters flew over the national forest. Multiple agencies set out on foot to determine why this happened and where potentially this woman came from. And eventually, just a half mile from where this crime happened, a homeless camp was found. And somehow the story now gets even darker, because when authorities approached this homeless camp in just the middle of the woods, just the heart of the national forest, they saw the camp. And there was one woman that they saw standing near the tents in this camp. They called out to her to approach them, to move away from the camp. And at that point, a 5-year-old child, guys, a 5-year-old child ran out from the tent holding a loaded shotgun and ran to the woman and dropped the shotgun at her feet. Thankfully, she didn't pick up the shotgun, and authorities were able to apprehend her and the child. but it just speaks to like the world that these people were living in, that they would train their 5-year-old child to be ready to bring them a loaded firearm at a moment's notice. It's just really weirded me out because, like I said, I'm literally probably within a mile or two of where this camp was. So there's a link in the video description to this full story, so you guys can read it for yourselves. I'm recounting it all to you by memory. And so for you to have the full story, go check it out for yourselves. But on top of this, these good old boys that came to, you know, just check on me. First of all, they came to make sure I was legit, to make sure that I wasn't a criminal myself, because they thought it was kind of weird that there was a guy camping here in a travel trailer, from out of state. And so they wanted to make sure that I was okay, that I was legit, I wasn't a criminal. But then once they realized that I wasn't, they were like genuinely concerned for me, because not only have murders happened nearby, but they told me that there is a lot of drug activity in the area. They told me specifically crack is cooked out in this national forest. People come out specifically into this national forest because this is where the police are not, and they cook crack here. And I like I said, I believe them. They live very close by. They were very friendly to me. I feel like I'm a very good judge of character, and that I really don't think they were trying to bullshit me to try and push me out of the area. They were genuinely concerned for my well-being. And yeah, so all of these things have given me a very, I don't feel safe here anymore. And last night, I did not sleep well. I could feel that a part of my brain never fully went to sleep. And any little noise that happened outside, boom, woke me up. I'm wide awake now. But because of that, you know, I said it in a recent video where I talked about safety. If I don't feel safe in an area, I leave. And that's like the biggest advice I can give to you guys. If you don't feel safe in an area, don't stay. Leave. And so that's what I'm doing. After feeling so restless last night and waking up multiple times during the night, anytime Sweetie would make a noise, it would wake me up. I would hear her stir and it would wake me up. I'd be like, oh, she heard something. She's going to let me know. Because she does. She's an excellent guard dog. If she hears something outside, she lets me know. And, you know, I was like opening my blinds to the window next to my bed and checking out and seeing if I could see anything. And I don't want to live that way. So we're getting out of here tomorrow a little earlier than planned, but that's just what I do. If I don't feel safe, I leave. So sorry for that long-winded story. I know that was a lot. That's not how I wanted the second part of this video to go. I really wanted to take you guys out on a second adventure to show you the beauty of this part of Alabama, because it really is beautiful here. It's so gorgeous. But after they told me that, I didn't feel safe leaving the campsite behind to go and do what I intended to do. There's a lot of really cool waterfalls in the area that I wanted to show you guys, but I just didn't feel safe leaving the camp behind. And so, yeah, I'm sorry. This isn't how I wanted the video to go, but I just feel like it's necessary. But, you know, for the rest of the night, Sweetie and I, we're just going to chill. We're going to hang out together, and I have a really delicious dinner planned. Huevos Rancheros has been a favorite dish of mine for many years now. I really love it. It's so easy to make, but it's extremely hearty and just so delicious. I may not feel particularly safe in this campsite tonight, but you know, I'm not gonna let that get to me too much. I'm not gonna let it prevent me from enjoying this delicious meal that I just cooked, and I'm not gonna let it prevent me from enjoying this beer. So cheers, guys. You know, if you like this video and you'd like to buy me a beer, then you can go through this QR code right here, or you can go through a link in the video description below that I'll post for you guys. For the rest of the night, I'm going to enjoy my dinner. This is not the only tostada of Huevos Rancheros I'm going to have. I'm going to have probably 1 or 2 more of these. I'm going to enjoy this, and then Sweetie and I are going to get ready for bed.
All right, come on, girl. Well, guys, we're all hooked up. The trailer is all set up and ready to go. Man, I'm really bummed that not feeling safe here did keep me from exploring more of Alabama, but you know, that is just like a #1 rule for me, is that if something feels off, if you don't feel safe in an area, then just get out of there, because you never know what could happen. I mean, you know, I'm out here all by myself, so yeah, I mean, I got Sweetie, but still. So yeah, it's okay though. We are gonna go to Arkansas now. We're still headed out west. I have a site picked out in the Ozark National Forest. I'm pretty excited about it. So we'll see you guys there. I hope you enjoyed the video for what it was. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. But my name's David. This is Sweetie, and this is Fate Unbound, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. All right, watch out, pup.